Everyone wants me to read Christmas romance novels this year. Well, everyone except my wife. I told her to pick one of the stories from this collection. She went with Hot Toy because it sounded like the least smutty one. Plus, there's a sexy secret agent in the story. That means I can make a YouTube playlist of Secret Agent Santa romance novels. It's my Christmas gift to the world.
Argo Funk Book Review. Argo Funk Book Review.
We start with Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to get a Turbo Man action figure for his son Jamie. No, wait, that's Jingle All the Way. Sorry, it's easy to confuse this book with that movie. It's Christmas Eve and Trudy Maxwell is looking for the most popular toy of the year, the Major MacGuffin action figure. At the toy store, she has the misfortune of running into Nolan Maxwell. Wait, they don't have the exact same last name. Sorry, I got their last names mixed up. Sorry. Nolan is her handsome ex-boyfriend, kind of. They went on 3 dates, and then he ghosted her. Ghosting is for Halloween, not Christmas. He tries to endear himself to her while she's searching the toy shelves, but she is having none of it. Rhys Daniels appears. He's a surfer dude student who was her father's research assistant last year. He's kind of an idiot and way too young for her, but she flirts with him a bit to make Nolan jealous. Trudy and Nolan talk while searching the shelves. It seems like their fallout was a misunderstanding. He first liked her because she's a funny, quirky librarian, but on their dates, she was boring and serious. She says, yeah, that's because he took her on super boring dates, like the college literature staff meeting. That is not a date-worthy scene. Trudy finds a Twinkle Toes doll, the one her sister wanted when they were kids. She finds a Major MacGuffin hidden in the shelves. It's last year's model, and it's quite beaten up, but maybe it'll be good enough for her nephew. There's a pretty hilarious section where Trudy talks to her sister on the phone in the checkout line. Nolan and a total stranger give running commentary on the conversation. The sister is drunk on gin. Oh yeah, I should say this book is for adults, not kids. It's not explicit like other romance novels, but there's a fair amount of swearing for comedic purposes. Outside the store, Rhys returns. He knows a warehouse where they're selling this year's MacGuffin toy. Trudy reluctantly gets in a cab with Rhys, where they kiss under the mistletoe. Who hangs mistletoe inside a taxi cab? Nolan jumps in the cab, and the two men compete for Trudy's attention. Her sister calls, and we get another 10-page section where people comment on Trudy's phone call. That's twice in a row. She should really take her phone off of speaker mode. You might be wondering, wasn't this supposed to be a story about secret agents? That kicks in when they arrive at a warehouse. Rhys leaves to talk to the 3 guys there. Nolan pulls Trudy aside and explains he's not a real professor. He's really an undercover cop on a mission to bust a toy smuggling ring and the college literature department. What? Nolan wants Trudy to give up the toy and leave for her own safety. She refuses and complains about him at length. When she says he never even kissed her after their dates, he kisses her passionately and ho ho ho, Merry Christmas! Nolan leaves to get backup. Rhys returns and says he's actually a CIA agent who's trying to get Chinese spy codes, which are written on the toy's instruction sheet. As Trudy says, that's a much more creative spy story than toy smugglers. Trudy maces Rhys and goes back to Nolan, who's the real secret agent. She's surprised to learn he's telling the truth when she discovers there's a USB drive hidden in the toy. Trudy and Nolan rush through the exit that Rhys is guarding. She is spooked when someone shoots at her. Instead of getting in the taxi and leaving, Trudy attacks the cab driver with the 4-step self-defense move from Miss Congeniality. Nolan, Trudy has good taste in movies. You should marry her. Nolan tries to calm Trudy down by handcuffing her. I don't know why he thinks handcuffs are calming, because they're not. A bunch of NSA agents arrive. Trudy gets madder and madder because Nolan lied to her the whole time, and the toy is confiscated. What will she give to her nephew now? The next morning, Trudy and her sister complain a lot about men. Men are the worst. Trudy finds a secret USB hidden in a Twinkle Toes doll. She gets a major, uh-oh, here we go again feeling. And yes, if this was a full-length book instead of a novella, that probably would start off more spy adventures. As it is, this is the end of the story. We get the happy ending you would expect. Nolan shows up as a secret agent Santa, who gives the rare toy to the nephew. Trudy is touched to learn Nolan truly cared for her all along. He wasn't faking that for the sake of his mission. When he doesn't get the hint that he should kiss her, she kisses him. The end. Postbook follow-up. This novella is 80 pages long. It first appeared in the anthology Santa Baby, which is why the song Santa Baby is mentioned several times. It was later released as a standalone ebook, then re-released in the anthology It Must Be Christmas. I like this book. If they made this into a TV movie, I would totally watch it. They would have to cut out the swearing, though. I know, big surprise, I like the comedy book. It was funny. The author does a good job of making Trudy be constantly angry and sarcastic without having her come across as a terribly mean person you'd avoid in real life. The sister is also funny, as are the two men fighting over Trudy. I think there should have been a longer break between the two scenes where people comment during Trudy's phone calls. It's the same basic joke setup back to back. The secret agent stuff doesn't kick in until halfway through, so we have enough time to get used to the characters and scenario before everything goes off the rails. I could see a version of the story where the secret agent twist doesn't happen, and things kept going with the toy fighting and the love triangle, and I think it would have been good enough. Overall, this story goes solidly in the recommend category. I give Hot Toy a thumbs up.